If we think about Windows 365, the technology itself is actually an evolution of traditional cloud VDI to what we now call a cloud PC. And the benefits of that are, in traditional cloud VDI type of environments, you've had to have very complex configurations of server, network, storage, profile management. There's a lot of capacity planning that goes into that. Windows 365 is intended to shift that paradigm away from a traditional, very heavy lift type of infrastructure into something that's very simple.
When you look at retail is a highly seasonal business. You've got to crank it up and then you got to turn it down. And this is ideal for that kind of environment where you need more tenants at a particular time. You don't have to pay for them all year long. You just crank it up and then you crank it down when the season's over.
It's an easy piece of technology to digest psychologically. It's definitely something that's needed. As we lean into physical retail, there's more and more out of office running around going on to make sure that the experience is great and to grow those experiences. And the more you run around, the more connected you need to be back to whoever your communication ecosystem is.
So the whole idea of Windows 365 is to really minimize that overhead from the customers, and obviously helping with costs, helping with the management, security, because we're tying to the Microsoft cloud. So really Windows 365 is that tool that's going to help to really make things easier.
If you only need to be on a device for a minute to do something really important, then get back to engaging with the customers, helping them solve their problems, and ultimately selling them more stuff and making your company more money. It's kind of an elegant, simple solution to a problem we might not have even been thinking about.
So if you think about how this really fits in retail, we often have different functions in a retail environment. With Windows 365 Link, we can separate the hardware from the experience. And the experience is hosted in the cloud, which means it's very fast for IT administrators to be able to keep that current, to keep it up to date. There's no data stored on it. So if it is lost or stolen, there's no risk of any information that an organization would be concerned about. All of that is captured in the cloud. So it really makes this deployment and an experience that people walk up to, and when they enter their credentials, their experience that the business needs them to have is available to them.
So we're making a big investment in Windows 365 and really trying to help groups like retailers bring cloud PCs to a bigger segment of their user base. So we talk about things like Windows 365 Frontline, which has some great optimizations for those retail employees that could be doing all sorts of different tasks, and maybe don't need Windows applications or desktops full time, but they have that occasional need for something. If you can make that much more accessible to retailers and help them empower their users with better access to Windows.
What I find really interesting with products like the Microsoft 365 Link solution is that it really gives retailers an easy platform, a low-cost platform to put all these other things layered on top of it and make it accessible for probably the most important person in the retailer's organization, which are those frontline store teams. AI can do some of that, but if you don't have the right platform to run and interact with the AI, then it doesn't really do a lot of good. And I think that's what I find super interesting with this Link solution, is that it makes it a lot easier for retailers to get the platform in the hands of those frontline teams.
The best use of AI on the employee side is as sort of a tool, something that they can rely on to deliver information to the consumer and to the product set that's going to help that consumer buy more from that retailer.
We live in an information age. We use our fingers to access information about everything, and we trust it. We believe it's accurate. So I think AI is putting the tools about your product, your company, its culture, its heritage in the hands of the associates so that they know more and that they can believe in as a retailer, they can believe in your cause more and they can better express it with their clients.
Where we're positioned is we're starting to gain a lot more traction when it comes to Windows 365 and cloud PCs. This allows us to have a very simple to deploy device. It takes about 2 minutes to enroll, and people then can use that. So if you have a number of devices that are across your retail ecosystem, it allows you to have a single pane of glass that, based upon where that person, that retail associate may be, they can go up, they can authenticate, and they can get to the experience that they need. If they're in the back room, if they're at the customer service desk, or if they're out on the retail floor where we really want them to be.
The ability for retailers and brands to use a tool like this can definitely enhance efficiency There's all of the things that go along with it, things like security and those types of things that are, of course, a concern. But it's really about getting more productivity and efficiency from your frontline, or in case whatever type of worker it is. So this really seems like a tool that can enable that.
So I just saw an exciting demo on the Microsoft 365 link, and that innovation is incredible. I'm excited for retailers to experiment with that and to see more.